and I want to say that, is always for the preservation of the history of wrestling. And so where did this crazy journey begin for Conrad? And I know you've probably answered this 100 times, but I've never heard the answer. I don't really listen to podcasts. I think it's monotonous. You just listen to some idiot droll on about their opinion. You know what I mean?
Who wants to do that?
Who's going to do that crap?
We got another 5-star review.
But like, where did that come from? And how did that start? I guess your love of wrestling so much so that you started digging into the whys, the whats, and the wheres, and the whens,
Well, I was a super fan as a kid, got out of it like a lot of 12-year-olds do, and said, oh, I'm done with that now. And then flipping through the channels in 96 and see Hulk Hogan wearing all black and thought, wait, what is this?
Oh.
So I watched the NWO.
How old were you then?
15.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, I got to check this out.
Yeah, you did.
So I started watching and fell in love with it again, watched it and subscribed to the Observer and the Torch. So I got interested in the other stuff. I started getting tapes from Japan of the death matches. Found ECW in the middle of the night and all that stuff. But then I kind of got out of it in January of 06. My business started to take off. I opened my mortgage company and I was like, I got to just focus on everything. So I quit playing video games and quit watching TV and just all in on business for a while. And then I'm scrolling through eBay on like New Year's Eve when the UFC used to run that era in Vegas. They'd always run on like the 29th or 30th or whatever. And I saw a real ring-worn Ric Flair robe. And I thought, dude, that'd be like having one of Elvis's jumpsuits. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I negotiated and got it. And then I was like, okay, now what am I going to do with the damn thing? Like once you have it and it's in your house, you're like.
But it's super cool to have.
It is. But
I got a Ric Flair robe up in my closet upstairs in the spare bedroom that nobody goes in. Yeah.
Do you really?
No.
You're saying that's what you're doing.
That's what you would do.
It's like, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
So I thought, maybe I should get like a display, and I don't know what that is. Do I mount it to a wall? And I was like, if you do that, you can't see the back. So I thought, okay, as crazy as this is, somebody suggested get a mannequin.
Yeah.
So I bought a mannequin and put it on a mannequin. I'm like, well, that looks kind of weird. Maybe there's a way to display it with a belt. So I did some research and found the guy who made the best belt was Dave Milliken, who used to make them for WWE at the time. So I placed an order, and then a few days later, I was just looking at all of his pictures on his website, and I found the Ric Flair nameplate from the big gold belt. And I was like, hey, man, do you have that? Because if so, I'd love to buy it. And he goes, no, my friend has it and he'll never sell it. I said, okay, well, hypothetically, if he ever changes his mind, I'd be in at this price.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, he emailed me and said, it turns out Never's today. Here's his phone number. Give him a call. So I bought it. And then that guy was a guy named Dick Bourne, who's written a bunch of great wrestling books. And he wrote a book about the 10 pounds of gold, the previous NWA belt.
Yeah.
And he goes, I just asked that if I ever get a chance to find that belt, you'll let me photograph the nameplate with the belt. And I go, yeah, you can do it at my house. And he goes, you have the big gold belt? I said, no, but if I found the nameplate, how hard can it be? I'll find it.
Yeah.
So then 2 weeks later, I had the actual big gold belt. And it was fun. It was like, hey, I'm chasing stuff. I'm finding stuff. Yeah. So it
was
became
a rush,
a scavenger hunt to find the next thing. And then somehow there was an opportunity to sponsor a Kickstarter where you could have a wrestler come to your house and watch this world premiere or whatever in advance of it coming out. So you had like a private screening with you and your friends.
Yeah.
And so it was for an ECW documentary. So Shane Douglas came to the house and I got to just talk to him for hours and hours. And I was like, I think this might be a thing. Yeah. And then fast forward, Rick one day says, hey, do you want to come on my first podcast and just ask me fan questions? He thought it was weird to just talk to a microphone. He wanted somebody to play it off of. So I said, sure. So I didn't know what else to do. So I just did a lot of prep. And I came in and handed everybody notes and the producers and stuff. And at the end, CBS says, hey, will you come do this next week? So I became an accidental podcaster, figured out what to do that first year with Rick. And then I was like, I think we can do something different. So I pitched Bruce. Bruce liked it. It took off. Yeah. So, but we did it a different format. Everybody at the time was doing an interview format with a different guest every week.
Yeah.
That's hard to have 52 guests.
Yes.
And so it's like way easier because as a Howard Stern fan, I didn't care if he had a guest. I just wanted him to bust the balls of the other people on the show. So Bruce and I
it makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So that's it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I get it.